Welcome to Entrepreneur to Entrepreneur. This is Derek again. We're here with Kanan Heath today. He's a realtor in the state of Virginia, and he wants to talk about some of the things he's experienced as one. So what does it take to become a realtor in Virginia? Or, well, you're also in Tennessee too, correct?
So I'm licensed in both states, and so I took classes. You can go and take classes in person, but I took classes online because I'm better. With my work schedule at the time, I was working another job, so I took that online at night, and once I passed the class, you have to go take a licensing exam, same thing as you would do for electrician, any type of licensing job. You go in person, you have to take a state test and then a national portion on the test. So I went and took that, passed that, and then when you get that, you find a broker to work under who will hold your license basically, and you work underneath them. So I did that for Virginia first, did that for about a year and a half, and then realized probably needed my Tennessee license as we live pretty close to the border.
Like within what, 20 miles roughly or something?
Yeah, so
pretty close.
Basically I figured it was good, so I went back online. It's a little bit easier once you have one state. Some of it's reciprocates, so I went and took my Tennessee national and state test and passed. I passed both of them first try. So
how long did you study for when you took the
it took me, it's a study on your own kind of deal, so at your own pace. If you take the class, there's some of them that like you finish within a month, and it's like 3-4 week like boot camp every evening from like 5 to 9. But I did
community college.
Yeah.
Is that where they go? Okay. Yeah.
So I took my own, and I did it on my own. So I slacked a little bit some, but after about 3 months, I had finished class. Then I studied for a couple of weeks and just went and took the test while it was fresh on my mind. But
3 months seems to kind of be the norm for that, because like with my insurance license, I studied about 3 months.
When you sign up for the class, you have about 180 days to finish it and take your test. Otherwise, you have to either purchase an extension or start over. So
because it does cost for that. Yeah, it cost, and I can't remember what mine. Do you remember what it cost to get the course?
When I did the course, it cost me around $500-600, I think, for everything, all the books and everything. Which of course, all my stuff was electronic.
Yeah.
But in around $1,000, I was with the class, taking the exam and everything, and passing. So that's really not too bad of a cost on startup. So, compared to 4-year college or 6-year college, so it's really not that bad.
So then, once you pass the test, you got both your license and everything. How do you decide? How do you decide which company to go with, or did they offer you stuff? You reach out to them, how would that be?
A lot of people, it's really, in a sense, it's not too hard to get on with a brokerage, because most brokerages are they're always wanting more agents, because in a sense, I'm paying them to work there in a sense, because when I make a commission on a house, they get a portion of it, whatever's determined on agreement when you sign up, because most brokerages are offering office space, some different materials, maybe they're offering sources to help you obtain leads through the internet, materials and stuff. So, and some agencies might help you with advertising. Maybe they pay for your photography and stuff. So some of that stuff factors in. So a lot of them, as long as you're a neat, clean person, going to represent their company pretty well, they'll hire you on and train you. So, and there's some stuff that when you get signed up with the brokerage, there's stuff you don't learn in the class that you kind of have to learn additionally, just
on the fly.
Yeah, some stuff that's like ethical stuff, and just kind of how to present yourself properly, and how to work with clients, stuff that they're not going to really teach you there, that you kind of have to learn the social skills. But basically, when I went and signed up, I just looked for a brokerage that was kind of well known in the area.
Yeah.
Maybe they had a lot of other agents, and they were getting a lot of traffic in their office, and just kind of drawing in customers.
Because you work y'all just take turns when somebody calls into that.
Yeah. So our brokerage, it's kind of like a round robin. So basically, somebody calls in and they want to see a house. It goes to whoever's next in line, or we've got lead programs that's tied in with our website. So when you click on there and it asks you to fill out some information, it instantly sends that over to us. And so I can see, your price range you're looking in, if you're pre-approved or not, if you have a house to sell or not, and so forth. So there's some cool, tools and stuff they provide, but they allow us to sign up for floor duty too. So I may sign up for Tuesday and Wednesday this week from 8 a.m. to 1:30 or 1:30 to 5, where anything that comes through the office or online, I'm going to get it in that time frame.
Yeah.
And then if I do the evening shift, then they'll forward the phones over to me that night. So that's kind of nice. They give you opportunities to obtain people through the website, but you also want to be out there, shaking hands and, obtaining
and then you get
customers yourself.
And then people will just know you from wherever and they holler at you too, right? So how long have you been doing this?
So I'm on almost my third, I'm right at 3 years in October. So, doing really well. First year was pretty good. Second year got a little bit better, and this year we're right around what I sold on the second year, and we got a couple months left. So I think I'll keep progressing and be a little bit above last year's numbers. So
it hit a good time too, right?
I started right pre-COVID and then into COVID, and started working another job because I didn't think people would buy houses, and that was a mistake. So I quit that job and just told myself I need to be available when the clients are available, not vice versa.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. So with people just starting out, it's kind of hard to work two jobs, right? Like if you're sole focused, because I know some other realtors that do work full-time jobs, and it seems like they make money, but I don't think they make top end money.
Yeah, and my logic was I had people calling me at work and stuff, wanting to see houses, and I was trying to schedule all these appointments in the evenings, and I didn't have no time to do personal stuff between the two. So I had to take that chance and quit my full-time job and go into this full-time and be available when the clients are available. And the risk was worth it. It's a little nerve-wracking at first, when you're used to a weekly paycheck. When you're used to that consistency. So you have to develop new habits and routines. You need to learn how to manage your money when you might sell 4 houses 1 month. It might be a great month, and then you might go 3 months that you're just one. You just don't, you always have to keep trying to reach people, ask them how you can help them. People are trying to look for houses, reach out to them, answer their questions. You have to always do that, even if you're having a good month, because you don't know what's going to happen the next few months. So you just want to kind of keep a steady flow, basically. So
if someone's already decided to do this, and then they've got their license, they took the exam, they paid the roughly $1,000, and they've got with a brokerage, what should they expect? Like if they sold your run-of-a-mill house that's like, I don't know, $100,000, let's say, like just. What would a realtor?
So basically, most companies are going to offer. It just depends, Some will list a house for 6%. Some will list it for 5%. They compete on. I can offer a better percentage, but you have to kind of keep that standard. I don't want to go out there offering really low amounts, listing someone's house, because at the same sense, my time's worth something.
And you have cost in it too.
Yeah, right? I have cost in it because some people say, well, you just put some pictures online and that's all you do, and you sell it and you can make money off me, and that's not necessarily the case. I'm answering the phone, I'm getting all your legal paperwork together, making sure deeds and stuff are correct, and surveys, and answering those questions, and then dealing with the banks, closing attorneys. Whole 9 yards, and it's some days it's a lot, making sure that when you get to the closing table, all the stuff that agreed upon, I make sure everything's neat and clean. So if there is a discrepancy, and the he said, she said, that stuff goes out the door, I can say, well, this is what's on paper and this is what we have to go by. So there's a lot to it, there's a lot of work.
That was a learning curve too, right? Like, it took a while to get to where this, and this.
And and it did, and of course there's other expenses. When I list a house, there's 4 or 5 different platforms, online websites that I put it on, and I pay money out of my pocket to advertise. Facebook's a big one. I've got business page on there because people, they see that a lot.
You had a commercial recently too.
So yeah, I started running a commercial. I've got that going, and it's on like streaming platforms, and then charter cable, stuff like that, and then social media, which is a big one. It runs on there. So I went and filmed that. Like an actual commercial is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we did some stuff out in the public, fishing, different things, highlighting the area. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, just trying to just draw people in and let them know how I can help. So that's the name of the game,
Yeah. But so you would recommend somebody going into this though, right? Like
yeah, I will say it's probably not for everybody. I like it. I'm kind of more of a risk taker. So, the weekly paycheck thing, the taking the chances, that didn't really bother me.
You gotta be ready for feast or famine. You might be like,
you do. So,
feasting one time and famine in the next.
Big things help me is when I got paid a check or something, just, dividing that up, setting it aside, and because you have to count, as a realtor, you're paid as an independent contractor. So, you're not technically an employee for your brokerage. They write you a commission check, and there's no taxes taken out of that. So it's up to you to determine, get you a CPA, that's what I recommend. But it's for you to determine, keep up with that. And at the end of the year, you're gonna have amount of taxes that you owe. So adding on to that, the other thing that you start running into that some people may not want to deal with is you're pretty much a small business. So you need to keep up, with your mileage. If you bought a vehicle, you can deduct that. All the tax stuff, you have to keep up with that. So at the end of the year, if you've got $15,000 in taxes to owe to the government, you can put your deductions on there and everything, and maybe you get a refund. Maybe you only have to pay a few dollars. So you have to stay organized. You have to stay very organized and keep up that stuff.
They'll let you know.
Yeah, you won't get out of that one. So
things gonna get worse too.
I've heard some horror stories of some agents first year, and getting to the end of the year and owing about $20,000 in taxes. And
I think that's with every business. You have to be. Oh my gosh, you better be ready because you don't have all that money in your account. Like that's not for you.
So you have to be very professional, and you have to stay organized, and you got to want to deal with people. People of all kinds, people of all attitudes, every walk of life, and you got to be willing to answer the phone too. There's some nights that we might be out to eat, somebody might call, maybe I don't answer, but I send them a text, call you back in just a minute. You got to be willing to do that stuff. Because some people are working all day and they don't get home to look at houses on Zillow or wherever until 6 or 7 when you're out at a ball game or something. But you just have to learn how to work on the fly. That's the best way to put it. So
we're looking at roughly 3 months to get our license, $1,000 starting out, find a brokerage, be flexible with time. Probably needs to be the only thing you got going on, especially at first. I would think. Yeah,
and it's going to take you, if you're a new agent starting out, it's going to take you, if you don't know a lot of people, or you're in a new market, say you moved from out of town, you want to be a realtor in Abilene, Virginia, and you've never lived here before. It's going to take time for people to know who you are. So you have to build your name, put some flyers out for, say, business cards. Hey, how can I help you? And also work the internet. The internet's the key. There's all kinds of people out there, and just getting in front of people. They have to know you exist. So.
And then how can people get a hold of you in case they want to sell their house or buy one?
So my phone number, you got my cell phone, house phone, email, Facebook. I'm on about every platform. So. And then
how can they get a hold of you like on Facebook? Like is it?
So I have a business page on there. And so it's separate from my private account. And it's Kane and Heath Realtor, and of course I work for Property Executives right now. So.
Have you put like a little thing in the comment or something?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
That way you can look right to it. Okay. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, holler at me if you got an idea about wanting to get interviewed about something. So, thank you. Have a good day.